here's the final result, fixing my 70-200-2.8. And why am I doing this? Because of this warning. Matt Granger mentioned it. He had the foot literally pulled right out from the bottom of his 70-200-2.8. Had the screws, and you can see the screw holes here. It's actually known that those screws can come loose. And so here's a warning or a notice when you're reattaching a new foot. It's all attached to this bottom plate, and Nikon's repair manual now mentions to tighten this up and use Loctite 241. So that's what I did. I got some Loctite. Now I got 242. I ordered it on Amazon, and there you go. There's my new Loctite ready to be used. So let's put it together. So the first thing I needed to do, and you can do this of course, is remove the original foot. And once you do this, you need to take out those 4 screws that hold the plate that attaches to the bottom of the 70-200 body. And so just very quickly you unthread them, and they're tiny, so be careful with them. Make sure you keep them, and use a proper tool. Don't just use any Phillips. There's an actual official tool that is used for this that can be ordered on Amazon. So I'm just taking a moment there, get these all out and in place. I'll speed this up here a bit for you. You can see mine are actually in kind of tight. Now originally mine were loose, and so I had tightened them up without Loctite, but on finding the manual from Nikon, I saw there was the need to just make this little adjustment. So once you get them all out, you can take that plate off and you're ready to go. So they're tiny. You can see they're really small, so be careful. You don't want to lose them, and you don't want to cross thread them when you're putting them in because that would just mess everything up. So I got my Loctite, and get this out of the package here. It's a bit of annoyance, as you can see here, kind of fiddly. In any case, Loctite, it is something that I can remember my dad using. He was an industrial mechanic. And so the blue is the one you want to use. Don't use red. That is really powerful in locking the threads. The blue is designed so that they can be, the screws, or the little screws here in this case, can be removed again. Now I've seen some people just sort of dump this on. I remember being taught by my dad that you use only a small amount, because you're just trying to get the screws to bind and not loosen due to vibration. And that seems to be what the problem is, that vibration is causing, from hanging your camera and lens combo off a strap, that vibration is shaking them. Maybe they weren't as tight as they should have been from factory. So it's a little bit fiddly, and you get them in, and then just tighten them, and don't over torque them. So I'm just going to do them one at a time, and sort of semi-tighten them. You have about 5 minutes before the Loctite starts to set. Here's another one going in. Again, they're tiny, and you just want to take your time, just a little snugging it up, making sure there's no leakage of Loctite anywhere. And I'll just go through the process with the other 2 that are remaining. Again, it's just a small amount of Loctite. I used a toothpick to do this. And I don't know how widespread this problem is. I've done a search. There are reports of people having this happen, where these screws are loose on the 70-200, also on the 100-400. Matt Granger seems to be the only one that's reporting where it literally pulled out, so I'm not sure what happened there. And there's ideas, and he's come back with a second short talking about it, not getting an actual answer from Nikon. I did call Nikon Canada because I'm in Canada. And Nikon, the tech support person, really didn't have much of an answer for me. Initially said it was strong enough to use the foot as a means to suspend my camera and lens, and that's a Z9. And then once I talked about the problem, seemed to feel that wasn't a good idea. So I don't particularly know for sure what the real answer is. I've done it for years I've used all the 70-200 2.8s. From the initial D series all the way up through to now the Z mount version. Never had an issue. I've used longer lenses, never had an issue. So maybe this is just a random anomaly. Maybe it's vibration. Here I am just tightening these up now. I'm just going to go in and just snug them up a little bit. And according to the Loctite instructions, it takes about an hour for the Loctite to set. So once you've done that, just leave them alone, let them set. I actually walked away and came back about 6 hours later. And my goal, not just to do this, but to add a new foot. So this isn't part of the repair, but this is just a little addition that I went into. I modified my ball head, and this is parts from Leofoto. I find their gear really well made. So just speeding it up here a little bit. I want that that change on my tripod ball head. So I'm just going to swap it out here. So if you've already seen this and the repair is good and you want to leave, hey, I get it. But I just wanted this new clamp mount. So I just added this in. And then you'll see the combo. Again, why did I want the clamp mount? Because the Arca Swiss foot is what I'm putting on my 70-200 2.8. So it just fits in very nicely, goes together well, and they give you all the parts and an Allen key just to tighten everything up. And just snuggie that in really good. There's that clamp mount. This is great. I can just very easily add and remove, and it's got a couple of stoppers on the bottom of that. So I'm going to save that, keep that for later, and we'll use this in combination with my lens. So there's the foot that comes from Leofoto. It likewise fits into this. It's Arca Swiss, clamps in really nicely, and it's designed for the 70-200 2.8. So there we go. We're all set here. It even has the plug connector for their strap. So that was another reason why I did this. I just wanted to add in an additional way to carry my camera and lens in combination. All right. So lots of little bits and pieces. Hopefully this has been useful for you and you get an idea of how quick and easy it is to fix this foot on the bottom of our 70-200 2.8. There's a comparison between the 2 feet. You can see the Nikon one is quite small, the Leofoto one is quite large. And otherwise I'd have to use the standard foot on a plate that's Arca Swiss. Now it still works, but I just, it can swivel. This won't. This will just clamp in very nicely. It's not going to swing around. It's not going to be twisted when I'm, moving the camera around and using it. And here's the combo. It just clips in really nicely, slides in. It is reminds me of some other company's foot, shall we say. It looks very similar knobs. I'm not sure where they got their design from, but in any case, we won't go there. But it clips in really nicely, slides in and off very easily, locks down really good and tight, rock solid. And I'll just put it in connection again, so you can know how easy it works. And that is in nice and snug with the fix with the Loctite. So here's the final combo. It's got the new clamp plate on the ball head, attaches really nicely to that new foot, feels very solid. And again, I've let the Loctite cure, and I'm pretty confident. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with vibration as long as those little screws hold and don't pull out. There you go, folks.